Now, the South Plains first news in high definition. This is KCBD News Channel 11 at 6.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us.
Friendship administrators are proving that no threat will be taken lightly in their district. Yesterday, someone posted an anonymous message on social media saying they brought a gun to school, and they plan to do it again on Thursday with the intent to harm others. In response, Friendship increased security measures today to ensure their students' safety. KCBD News Channel 11's Ashlyn Tubbs is following this investigation. She joins us now with details. Ashlyn?
Karen and Abner, the threat was posted to an app called After School, which we first told you about last week. It's a social network that allows students to log in through their Facebook to post about their school, and it's all anonymous. It's already raised concerns of bullying and sexually explicit content, but yesterday's threat took it to a whole new level. When Friendship High School students saw this threat on the After School app about someone bringing a gun to their campus on Thursday with the intent to kill, they took it to Principal Kim Spicer.
I had several other students also email me screenshots. They have been marvelous about letting us know whenever they feel like something isn't quite right.
Spicer immediately called the police.
They've been working closely with me to help try and investigate and see if we can find the source of the post. And it was an anonymous threat, but what I have learned is that you don't necessarily have to be a Friendship student. It could be anybody who posted what was posted.
She compares the post as a modern-day pulling of a fire alarm, a prank that is taken very seriously.
If we find out who did it, they actually can be arrested for a terroristic threat. And if we can determine that they cause a significant disruption in the educational environment at Friendship High School, the consequences are even more severe. So really and truly, before you post something, you need to make sure that you're willing to own up to whatever you're saying.
While some parents kept their students at home today, Spicer felt at ease with the increased local and outside law enforcement on their campuses.
My son attends school here. I wouldn't allow him to go to classes today if I felt that the threat was viable. I do not.
And Friendship Superintendent says as an educator and citizen, the community needs to strengthen the morals of children.
We're not going to change the fact that there's an app being developed probably every minute that is going to do something similar to this. We can't change that. And so what we have to do is work on the child and really strengthen them, because my greater concern with children today is that they feel comfortable in their skin.
If you have any additional information that will help resolve this matter, please contact the Friendship Police Department at 866-444-0 extension 150. Karen and Abner.
All right, thank you, Ashlyn. Also this afternoon, the Friendship ISD police team teamed up with the Lubbock Police and Sheriff's deputies in a chase around 2 o'clock. Authorities took one person into custody near 5th and Ironton. That's just a few blocks away from Northridge Elementary School. According to Friendship spokesman Andy Penny, details are limited because the investigation is still ongoing. But Penny says, quote, "This is a great indicator of how hard our police force has been working during the past 24 hours and their commitment to our students' safety."
Lubbock police have identified the bike rider who was struck and killed while crossing Avenue Q at 41st Street last night. Police say around 6:15, 44-year-old Robert Hines was riding a bicycle eastbound when a truck hit the bike. Police say Hines failed to yield the right-of-way. The collision caused Hines' bike to hit an SUV. He was taken to UMC where he later died. The people in the vehicles were not injured.
If you were shopping around 82nd and Slide this afternoon, you probably heard a loud crash, but it wasn't on the street. A driver barreled into a storefront, but was able to walk away from the incident without any injury. The driver crashed into Drug Emporium on 82nd Street just before 2 o'clock this afternoon, and you can see the car went through the front glass. Authorities on the scene told us the driver mistook the gas pedal for the brake pedal. No one inside the store was hurt either.
The investigation continues this evening into what sparked a house fire in West Lubbock. Around midnight, Lubbock fire and rescue crews were called out to 40th Street just east of Slide. Police blocked the streets in the area while firefighters battled the fire. Neighbors say the residents had only lived there for a few weeks and that no one was home at the time of the fire.
A Covenant employee is recovering this evening after being found unconscious at Covenant Women's and Children's Hospital. The employee was treated for what is believed to be minor electrical shock. Just before 2 o'clock this morning, Lubbock fire and rescue crews arrived to what was initially described as a possible gas leak. Covenant is still investigating, but a gas leak has been ruled out.
Folks on the South Plains were able to enjoy a warm afternoon, but changes are on the way.
John joins us from the First Alert Forecast Center to explain. John?
That's right, Karen and Abner. You know, we've had to deal with fog the last couple of mornings. We're going to have it again overnight as well. I want to show you some very unique and great looking video here. This is going to be from the Dallas area. This is actually from a view from a Southwest Airlines over the Dallas-Fort Worth area. Earlier this morning, there were about 50 flights canceled in the Dallas Love Field because of intense fog there. Some of those flights were diverted and were landed in other locations, but some of them actually came back a little bit later in the morning as the fog began to break away. This again gives you a view of the Dallas area there. And tomorrow morning, Dallas Love Field as well as DFW Airport may have some issues with overnight fog and low visibilities late tonight and again tomorrow, maybe again on Thursday and Friday morning as well. As far as our forecast, here's your fog forecast, and it'll be forming again later tonight. Right now, we're in good shape. You can see visibilities anywhere from 10 to 12 miles, but later on into the evening hours, see how the fog begins to increase in the area, dropping our visibilities forecast to about 4 miles or so by 9 o'clock. Overnight, patchy, dense fog will be an issue. Visibilities could be close to zero in some areas by 7 o'clock tomorrow morning. Keep in mind on your headlights, low beams, and allow some extra time for travel and keep extra distance between you and the other car. And then hopefully we'll be back to least cloudy conditions and good visibility tomorrow afternoon. Karen and Abner.
Thank you, John. And you can stay up to date on tomorrow morning's forecast with our First Alert mobile app. It's free and easy to download. Just search KCBD Weather in your app store.
2 adults from the Metroplex have died from the flu. The deaths were reported to Tarrant County yesterday. Officials say they don't know yet when the deaths occurred because reporting adult flu deaths is voluntary. So information about the 2 adults has not yet been released or may not ever be. But a county public health official confirmed the report today on Twitter while reminding North Texans to wash their hands frequently since the flu has arrived.
And listen to this. The Centers for Disease Control now says the flu vaccine developed for this season is less effective than normal. That means even if you got your flu shot, there's a greater chance you could still get sick.
KCBD News Channel 11's Taylor Langston joins us now with more on that. Taylor?
Well, Karen and Abner, according to the CDC, 91% of cases nationwide have been a strain of type A influenza. That's the most severe and potential deadly form of the virus. However, the vaccine has only been effective in 48% of type A cases.
And this year there's one strain of A that isn't covered by the flu shot. But despite that, they still recommend you get a flu shot, and if you have flu-like symptoms, you come in and get on Tamiflu.
Officials say vaccines are typically 70 to 75% effective, but this year that number has dropped significantly.
They try to predict what strains will be affected the next year, and they pick the top strains that they feel like will be in the population, and they make the vaccine for that because there's such a lag between making the vaccine and distributing it to the population.
Taylor says even though the flu shot won't be 100% effective on the strain of flu that's not included in the vaccine, it could make symptoms less severe. Now, it takes about 6 weeks for the flu shot to become fully effective, so it's still not too late for you to get one. Cases of the flu usually spike in January and February, so Karen and Abner, I'm glad that we have all had our flu shots, right?
Right. Thank you, Taylor. Today, folks in Hobbs headed to the polls to vote on a measure that would require a photo ID in municipal elections. Supporters say the measure would help eliminate potential voter impersonators and increase public confidence in elections. Civil rights groups argue that voter ID measures mostly affect minorities, seniors, and the poor by imposing unnecessary cost. The election comes after Lee County's record low turnout in the November midterm elections.
And if you're going to be out late tonight, we have a traffic watch for you. TxDOT will close various lanes of the South Loop frontage road from the interstate to Slide Road overnight tonight. Crews are going to perform routine road maintenance over there. TxDOT says all lanes in the area will be open, though, by 6 o'clock tomorrow morning. And just a reminder for drivers in West Lubbock, TxDOT will also reduce southbound traffic on Milwaukee between Spur 327 and the Marcia Sharp Freeway tomorrow morning after rush hour. Crews will be pouring concrete in that area. TxDOT is encouraging all drivers to use caution when driving through work zones.
Coming up next, Christmas is just a couple of weeks away, but it's going to come a little early for one family in South Texas.
You're watching KCBD News Channel 11 at 6.
Now, the South Plains First News in high definition with Abner Uresti, Karen McKay, Chief Meteorologist John Robison, and Pete Christie Sports. This is KCBD News Channel 11 at 6.
A church in Corpus Christi is giving one family an extreme Christmas home makeover.
The family was sent away for the week so volunteers could have some time getting busy remodeling their home. Church members, neighbors, and businesses are all donating items and, of course, their time to this project. From the landscaping outside to the paint inside, the house is expected to look brand new when the work is all done.
Our church is very committed to being the transformation that so many people need, in particular, single mothers. And I think that this illustrates the perfect Christmas gift.
The family is expecting the home to be newly painted and decorated, but the coordinator says the end result will be so much more than they expect.
And back here at home, Coronado High School Principal Dr. Jerry Adams was recently named the Texas High School Principal of the Year. With that honor, he'll be considered now for the title of National Principal of the Year in 2015. Dr. Adams has been at Coronado High School since 2013. He earned his bachelor's, master's, and PhD from Texas Tech. Dr. Adams will be recognized in Austin in June.
That's quite an honor.
It is.
And now let's go to John for a look at what's coming up next in the First Alert forecast. John?
Well, Karen and Abner, we mentioned fog is going to be an issue later on tonight. Then coming up tomorrow, the clouds will stay with us and possibly some showers headed for West Texas. We'll look at your forecast coming up next.